David S.
Number 6, 0.7.
Number 7, David N.
Yep. Okay. Number 7 is 6.5.
Good.
Is it my turn?
It is, David C.
0.9.
Good. Number 8 is 0.9. Number 9, Connor.
Number 9. 3 over 10 point 0.3 or 3/10.
Good. All right, and Connor, I like the way you gave it to me all 3 ways. Because they even asked for word form. Okay, 3/10, 0.3, and then they also want it in word form. When you write it in word form, make sure your tenths ends with a TH, right? Because it's not tens, it's tenths.
Wouldn't 1/2 be 0.5?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 10, Brooklyn.
Okay, so I didn't really understand this one.
You didn't? What did you do for it, Brooklyn?
What?
What did you do for this one then?
I was trying to figure out what I'm supposed to use.
Oh, what time did you do your homework yesterday?
2.
At 2? So if you don't understand one, what are you supposed to do?
Go to you, but it was already.
Well, if it was 2, I'm there from 2 to 3. And then if it's not during, if it isn't during that time, then you can send a email to me. Okay? I don't want you to be stuck out there not understanding. All right. Aaron, what did you do for number 10?
Number 10, I said 0.14.
That's a good try. It's almost, we're going to move the decimal over, okay, Aaron? And we're going to say 1.4 pizzas. Because 0.14, that's 14 hundredths. So that means if the pizza were in 100 pieces, they ate 14 out of 100. So there were 2 whole pizzas. Each piece was cut into 10 equal slices, and they ate 14 slices. So they ate 1 whole pizza. That's your 1. And then 4 out of 10 in the second pizza. So they ate 1 4/10 pizzas. Okay? So, Aaron, that was pretty good. You just had to move your decimal over 1. Okay? Page 500, number 1, Yash.
Valerie has 10 CDs in her music case. 7 of the CDs are pop music CDs. What is the amount written in the decimal 0.7 CDs?
4th grade.
0.7. Good.
Hi, 4th grade. Mrs. Palmer, I'm seeing you.
Hi again.
Hello.
Hi again.
So, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Perfectly. Well,
Yes.
I just wanted to pop on here, and I just wanted to explain to you about your specials grades on your very last report card. So the diocese has decided that we are going to go pass-fail for all your specials. So like PE, tech, STEM, music, and art, you will get on your report card at the end of this trimester. You'll get a pass or a fail. So you won't get a letter grade, you'll get a pass or fail, which means that if you've done all of your work in those subjects, that you should be pretty good to get a pass. If you have not done your assignments, then you will get a fail on your report card. Now, looking at your assignments for music, there are many of you right now who have a fail on your report card because you haven't done your assignments. So tell me why that's a bad thing.
Doesn't it
Because you won't pass
go to the next
on
grade?
music.
Does anyone agree with me that that is disrespectful?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's where my problem is, because you wouldn't not do 9 assignments for Mrs. Palmer. Mrs. Palmer would have a heart attack.
This is Palmer
You would not do that to Mrs. Wetzel. So where we're at right now is that some of you haven't even opened those emails, because we can read when you do. We know that. We know when you do that. And Mrs. Haupt, who has now worked very hard for you at home in a very difficult situation to help you, is now getting nothing back from you. And I think that's sad. I feel that that's really sad. And I, if that were me, would be really, really upset. So I'm just here to tell you that that's how this is going to work. That at the end of this, if you choose to get a fail on your report card and you are okay with that, then I guess that's what it is. However, I am just to let you know, I'm going to let your parents know through your parent square today that that's happening, because I'm sure that a lot of them would not be happy with a fail on your report card for a class such as music. So if at this point you are now way behind the 8 ball and you've got all of these assignments that you have to catch up on, my suggestion would be to you that you get a hold of Mrs. Haupt. You send out an email and say, look, I'm sorry, I haven't done anything. Is there something I can do? Can I do an alternative assignment or something to make up for all the ones I haven't done? Or can I still make up the work? I would suggest that you reach out to her and let her know that music is just as important as everything else, and that you certainly do not want a fail on your report card. Does that make sense? Yes, Mrs. Winters?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mrs. Winters. Bye-bye.
Am I
Well, I saw her. Me and Gavin saw her before you came.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she said she would come back.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually going to go to the music teacher. Miss Hawk does office hours, right? Because I completed all our other assignments except one.
He doesn't do
I
office
don't know how
hours.
to do. It's like the now for something completely different. I have no idea what she's talking about.
Isn't it
Miss
like
Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and you, if she's not there, you can send her an email and I'm sure she'll meet with you. Like if you email her, she'll Google Meet you so you can talk to her. Send her an email and let her know you want to talk to her, okay? All right, let's get back to math. We're on number 2 on page 500 and we're on Taryn. This was number 1. Taryn, what do you have for number 2?
1 4/10 or 1.4?
Good. Yep. 1.4. I think they asked for the decimal part, so very good. 1.4 works.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to the spiral review next. So this is like things we've covered before, and they're asking, write one number that's a factor of 13. Saad, what did you put for number 3?
I put 13.
Good. 13 works. You might have put 1. Either one of those works. 13 is good. If you had 1, that's good. Those are the only factors of 13. So one or the other. 1 or 13. Right. Number 4, I thought this one was a little bit trickier, but really what they want you to do, it was the one about the art gallery. It had 18 paintings and 4 photographs, and they want to display them in equal rows with the same number of each type in each row. What could be the numbers? So for this one, you had to do the factors and find out what their common factors were. All right, so we had 18 and 4. So Gavin Rogers, what are all my factors of 18? Gavin, go ahead and unmute.
1 and 18. 6 and 3. 9 and 2.
That's it. Good. So I made those. I put those in a list. 1 and 18. Remember when we did this? 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Okay, Gavin, how about 4? What are the factors of 4?
1 and 4, 2 and 2.
Good. 1 and 4, 2 and 2. So basically, I just have to write 2 once. So 1 and 4, 2. I'm going to circle everything they have in common, Gavin.
Oh.
So, Gavin, what could be the number of rows?
2, 1.
Good. So you should have either said 1 row or you should have said 2 rows. Those are the only 2 ways they would have the same number in each row. They're like in what could be the number of rows? Same number in each row. So we probably wouldn't do 1 row because that's not like each. So I like the way Gavin said 2 rows. 2 rows works. Right. Number 5 goes to David S.
How do you write the mixed number shown as a fraction greater than 1? 14/4.
Good. Okay, you had to change 3 2/4 into an improper fraction, 14/4. And the last one, David N. What fraction of this model in simplest form is shaded?
What fraction of this model?
What's your answer for number 6?
2/5. Wait, no. Sorry. So 1/5.
Yeah.
1/5.
2 out of 10 are shaded, so that is 1/5 in simplest form.
Yeah,
All right. Good job, gang. So you did awesome on decimals and fractions to the tenths. Our next section, we're going to do something very similar, but to the hundredths. The hundredths have 2 decimal places. So for all of our work yesterday, we had like 1 number after the decimal point. Those are tenths. When we have 2 numbers after the decimal point, that is hundredths. And we're going to look at page 503 for this, page 503.
Why did they give us grids? Do we have to like count it?
We're not going to worry about the grid so much. For number 1, they want you to shade the model to show 31 tenths. You would shade in 31 of those blocks, like 3 whole rows plus 1 other little block. You could shade it in if you wanted to, but what I really want to see is that written as a decimal. So David C, for number 1, what is 31 hundredths if I wanted to write that as a decimal?
31 hundredths. 31.
Where's my decimal point go?
31 and...
No, it's 31 hundredths. It's like 0 and 31 hundredths. So how would I write that?
So 0 and 31.
Like that?
Oh, I got it. Yay.
Okay. All right. Good. Number 2, we're going to write the fraction as a decimal. And we're going to write it as a fraction. So for number 2, Connor, you have to see how many of those little blocks are shaded. There's 100 total blocks. Can you see how many they shaded, Connor? Are you with me, Connor?
yeah.
Okay. All right. How many blocks are shaded?
68.
Good. So I'm going to write that as a fraction. And Connor told me 68 out of the 100 are shaded. So that's 68 hundredths. And Connor, they also want us to write that as a decimal. Okay. So we have to do another thing. How can I write 68 hundredths as a decimal, Connor?
0.68.
Good. That's right. Good work. Okay. Number 3 is very similar to that. Number 3 is for Brooklyn. Brooklyn, how many out of 100 of those little squares are shaded in?
8.
Good. 8
100.
Okay, so 8 over 100. Now we have to write 800ths as a decimal. This one's a little trickier.
0.8.
Well, 0.8 is 8/10ths, but I want 800. So how could I do that?
1 point. No.
I know. I think.
Aaron, do you know?
So you had to wait.
I know.
What do you think, Aaron? This is a little trickier. It's okay if we don't know yet. Aaron, do you know? Yeah, Yosh, what do you think it is? Boys and girls, do not type in the chat. You will get put in tiger jail if you type in the chat during class.
It's 0.01.
Close.
What is that?
Or 0.08.
Yeah, 800. So we want to have the 8 in the 100th spot. If it were here, that would be 8/10ths. So we just move it over 1. 800. Okay. Good work. Number 4. There's a little blue dot on number 4. I don't know.
Excuse me, Miss Palmer.
Yes, Connor.
Excuse me, Miss Palmer.
Yes.
So wait, it's 0.800.
0.08. And you read that as 800ths because the 8 is in the 100th spot. This is the 10th spot after the decimal. And then the next one is the 100ths. So if you read that, you would say 800ths.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Number 4, we have to find the blue dot. Okay. So I see it. And this is broken up into there's a pretty big line, and that looks like it's at 10, and then 20, 30, 40, and 50 is halfway through. For number 4, that dot is right before the 20 line, so it's 19. So if I wanted to write that where that dot is as a fraction, I would write it like this. 6 and 19 over 100. That is 6 and 1900ths. Okay, so that's as a fraction. And Taryn, could you tell me how to write that as a decimal? Because they want that also. How could I write 6 and 1900ths as a decimal, Taryn?
6.9.
You want 1900ths. So how would you write that?
16 or 6.19.
6.19. Yep, 6.19. So we would read that 6, and then remember the decimal we say and 6 and 19, and we have 2 numbers there, so that's hundredths. 6 and 1900ths. Okay. Number 5, they have 1 whole grid shaded in, and then if I count up the next grid, there's 83 of them shaded. So I'm going to write a 1, and I'm going to write 83 over 100. Okay, that's how I would write that for number 5 as a fraction. That's 1 and 83 hundredths. So how would I write that as a decimal?
1.83.
Good. 1.83. That's 1. And then where I see the decimal, I say and 83. And it went over 2 numbers, so that's hundredths. All right. Number 6, there's a grid. I want you to count how many are shaded in Gavin. How many of those are shaded in, Gavin, for number 6? David S., how many are shaded in?
Sorry. 74. 75.
75 of them are. So we're going to write that as 75 over 100. Okay, and then David S., how would I write that as a fraction?
75 hundredths.
All right, but tell me the numbers I'm going to put in. What goes before the decimal? Yeah, what goes before?
Fraction. 0.75. 0.75.
Good. 0.75. That's how we would write that. And we would read that as 75 hundredths. It's like 0 and 75 hundredths. But we don't usually say the 0 and. We just say 75 hundredths.
Would that be translated to 3/4?
Yes. Yep. In simplest terms, if we simplified it, it would be 3/4. All right. Number 7. Again, it's the blue dot. Okay. And the blue dot's like 3 little spaces before 50. So David N., where is that blue dot?
It is at 40. It is at 1 second. It is at 40. I think it's at 47.
Yeah, good. 47. So we would write that as 47 hundredths. And as a decimal, 0.47.
47.
Okay. All right. We have a few more to do. Number 8. David C. Number 8.
Number 8.
I always think these ones are a little bit
9.
hard. Go ahead.
0.9.
That's 9.
I mean 0. Yeah, 0, 0 point and 9. If that made any sense.
0.09. Okay. So that 9 is in the, you want the 9 to be 2 places after your decimal in the hundredth spot. That's 9 hundredths. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 9, Connor.
Number 9. 4.55.
That's it. Number 10, Brooklyn. Okay, Brooklyn, you'll have to unmute.
Sorry. 0.010.
Well, if I put 0.010, I'm going to have a 1 in the hundredth spot.
Oh, well.
It's just going to be
0.10.
0.10 or
0.1.
Yeah, because you don't need to have that 0 after the 1, so you could write it either way. Okay, number 11, Aaron.
I'm 0.63.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Number 11, Aaron.
Number 11 on 49 for our homework.
Aaron, we're just having class right now, and we're on number 11.
Okay, number 11 on 505.
Aaron, were you not with us for 1 through 10?
Yeah.
You were sitting here and you filled in 1 through 10.
I missed 10.
But you have 1 through 9? Aaron, do you have 1 through 9 filled in?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you have for number 7?
0.9.
It's a buddy. Way out.
Sorry, we're getting a delivery. Okay, Aaron, what did you tell me you had for number 7?
0.98.
I can't. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you because the dog was barking. Can you tell me again? Number 7.
0.98.
What do you have for number 5?
0.37.
I don't think you're on the right page, Aaron. What page are you on?
505.
So you're doing your homework right now? Are you working on your homework or are you working on our classwork?
Oh, I was on the wrong page.
Oh, okay. All right. Go back to number 11, but we're on page 503. Okay. Number 503, we're on number 11.
Yeah,
What do you got? Are you with me, Aaron?
Yeah. Number 11 is 9.33.
That's it. Good. 9.33. Okay. We're out of time, so I'm going to stop there. And I want you to do page 505 for homework, but you could cross off number 11. You just have to do 2 to 10.
2 to 10.
Okay. So page 505, numbers 2 to 10.
Can we go?
You may go unless you have questions for Mrs. Palmer.
All right. Bye.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
Connor, go to somebody go to language arts.
Bye.
Bye.
Mrs. Palmer, press
Yeah?
Control T. Press Control T.
Why? What's going to happen?
It's gonna open a new tab. What? Just press Control